almost all of us have been so fortunate to be before Vrindavan several times. Our greatest fortunate Prabhu, who always carry Vrindavan in his heart. So along with Vrindavan, he is here with Kanhaiya. So just a quick introduction of Prabhu. Prabhu was born in Los Angeles, California, in USA, and he joined Krishna Conscious Movement at Colorado in 1969. And he first met with Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, in 1970 in Los Angeles, where he got initiated. And when he opened the first temple in Dallas, Texas, he was the president of Fort Man Temple from 1972 to 1978. 1980, he moved to Colombia and he speaks Spanish. In 1984, he moved to Shridham, Vrindavan. 1986, he was appointed the president of Krishna Balram Temple for almost more than 3 years. And around 1988, Baba Madhav Das approached him to take over the restoration project of Vrindavan. And then we had gone for a yatra. You can see the Vrindavan is such a nice, wonderfully come up. The great guidance of Prabhuji. In 2003, a beautiful carved stone temple of Srimati Vrinda Devi was inaugurated. Vrinda Kund, which Dinbandhu Prabhu maintained for 30 years. This one we all know that Prabhu is known as a Brijvasi, the authentic Brijvasi of ISKCON in Delhi. And various other significant projects in Vrindavan, Dinbandhu Prabhu also has helped in restoring Samadhi Mandir of the great saint Sri Sanatana Goswami. He has also been an active supporter to restore the sacred river Yamuna in Vrindavan. And whoever he comes across, he humbly invites them to come to Vrindavan and have darshan of all the holy places. Along with that, Prabhuji also, apart from his so many activities, now he has the author of a book, which is, do you have a copy of it? One copy.
No, I just got this one now.
Unfortunately, we could not bring it this time, which is lying at the probably very soon to be here. It's called Braj Leela and the King of the Mountain. Viraj, yes. All the Braj pastime and Leela pastime. We are extremely fortunate from the core of our heart all together to welcome Prabhuji and His Grace Arjun Prabhu also. Who has been instrumental in bringing Prabhuji here. KANHAIYADESH by taking shelter before him.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
His Grace Dinbandhu Prabhu ki Jai. Gopal ki
Jai.
So I request everyone to speak because they have very limited time. You can put out your mobile phone and silent mode for 1 hour.
Yeah, otherwise the babies cry.
Turn it on.
Hare Krishna. So it's a great pleasure and great honor for us to be here in the home of Mr. Ashish Jain and his family, and to be here with all the wonderful devotees of KANHAIYADESH. After a long time, one time there was one lady devotee named Sri Sundari, and I can't remember what happened, but she tried to get me to come, and somehow it just didn't work out. And so this is the first opportunity. I'm very, very happy to be here with all of the wonderful devotees here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So tonight we're going to take you to Vrindavan without ticket, without visa, because you don't need visa, no security check.
No custom here.
No custom clearance. So to put us in a nice mood of Vrindavan, we have a very famous old Braj song that probably many of you already know. This is an old Braj song. You can look on your devices, Jai Madhava Madana Murari. You can find that on your device. We'll sing all the verses, a long song, but we'll just sing a few verses. You can look Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jai Keshava Kalimala Hari. Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jaya Keshava Kalimala Hari, Jai Madhava. Jai Madhava Madana Murari, Jai Keshava Kalimala Hari. Radhisham Ramajam, Radhisham Ramajam, Jai Keshava Kalimala Hari. Sundara Kundala Nara Vishala, Sundara Kundala Bala bala sangam bala bala So this old Braj Bhajan just puts us in Braj mood. It has very nice message. Jai Madhava Madanavarari, Jai Keshava, Kali Mala Hari. Now we're in this dark age of Kali. We see it dancing all around us. Things are becoming more and more degraded. So we're all covered with Kali Mal. Mal means dirt, contamination. Just like Mahaprabhu said, Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amala Puran, the spotless Puran. So opposite is Mal, dirty. So our hearts are covered with this dirt of Kali Yuga. But by singing all these names, Jai Madhava, Madana, Murari, Jai Keshava, Kali Mala, Hari, all that dirt of Kali Yuga is washed out from our hearts. The same message as Sriman Mahaprabhu in very beautiful Brishvasa language. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuruntam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Yati Swapadantikam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhu patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So in giving the introduction, Prabhuji mentioned that I met Srila Prabhupada for the first time in 1970. Because I joined in a place called Boulder, Colorado, at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. And Prabhupada was traveling elsewhere. Then he came to Los Angeles in January of 1970. So even though I hadn't been following the principles or everything for 6 months, still they recommended me for initiation and sent me out to LA. At that time, the temple was not where our famous 3764 Watsake Avenue, but it was on La Cienega Boulevard. And it was a small place and there was no place for Prabhupada to stay there. So he stayed in a flat nearby and he would come in the morning, greet the deities, give Bhagavatam class. After class, always used to do, we don't do it anymore, but after class, he always had kirtan. 5-10 minutes, he had a wonderful kirtan. Then he went back. So we came, by the time we got there, it was already afternoon. So we weren't going to see Prabhupada till the next day. And he came in the morning. But it was Saturday night. So Saturday night, we all used to go to Hollywood Boulevard. I think you all heard of Hollywood. It's about an hour from my house. So now in America, if chanting on the streets is your religion, then the police can't stop you for that. But if you block traffic, then they'll get you on that one. So there was a place where the building came down, but there was this triangular shape. The building went up like that, and it was triangular shape place like this, and the door was there to this restaurant called Diamond Jim's, which we won't speak about what they were serving there. Anyway, we would chant with our backs to the street, and we would push everybody into that triangular shape, and so the traffic on the sidewalk wasn't blocked. So we were happy. Police were happy. Only Diamond Jim's was very happy. And we had a very wonderful devotee who led us in kirtan, named Vishnu Jan Maharaj. Still, if I hear his kirtan, even if I don't recognize it as his kirtan yet, my hair stand on end just by hearing his kirtan. Even Prabhupada said, you will chant back to Golok. But I'm very happy to hear you. Chanting is just like Golok Vrindavan. So Vishnu Jan had us in a half circle like this. He said, just like the eye of Krishna. And he would stand at the very end playing the mridanga, and he would always dance on his toes. It looked like he was floating actually. So he can see the street, he can see the sidewalk both. We had our backs to the street. So he was chanting and we had our Hollywood melody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This was our Hollywood melody. Even we had part B. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Vishnu Jan would play very rapidly. He said, we don't want to leave any gaps for Maya to enter. So Vishnu Jan was chanting away, we were jumping up and down. All of a sudden his eyes got big. They just went, and he said, Prabhupada. And he hit the street. Now we were looking this way, so we didn't see anything that would make him do like that. So whatever happened must have happened behind us. And we turned around. When I told this story in Vrindavan one time, Garga Muni was there. I said, yes, I remember that night. Prabhupada asked me to take him to Hollywood Boulevard so he could see his disciples spreading the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya in this horrible Kali Yuga place called Hollywood. So we turned around and there Prabhupada was a little mid-sized Ford car. It was a Ford Admiral. You probably never even heard of it. Now you know how old I am. So, and Prabhupada was there with his hand in his bead bag, and Prabhupada was making pranams to us. We were totally embarrassed because you don't want to know about us before we became devotees. We crashed Yamaraja's hard drive trying to keep track of it. So to such people, Prabhupada was making his pranam. And we all just fell down on the street. We wanted to peel up the sidewalk and crawl underneath. We were embarrassed. How can the pure devotee, be making pranams to us, But Prabhupada was so grateful. He was so grateful that in this horrible place called Hollywood, we were pushing on the Sankirtan movement, Lord Chaitanya. Prabhupada was making pranams to us. So that was the first time I ever saw Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So today is a very special day. Is Ekadasi. Which Ekadasi is today? Ananda Ekadasi. Achha. This is a favorite pastime that I always like to tell on Ekadasis. How many people have been to Vrindavan? Almost everybody, I think. Everybody's been. How many people have been to Bahulavan? Well, some have been to Bahulavan. Not many. It's actually the closest for us. Of course, our temple is in Vrindavan, but in the Vrindavan, the Prabhupada explains both in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and in the Krishna book that the forest of Vrindavan stretches from the town now called Vrindavan 24 miles up to Nandagam. There's a big forest. It's the biggest forest. Therefore, the residents there call the whole area Braj, and we just say Vrindavan because that's the biggest forest, so that's standing as a representative of all the forests. But actually, in Braj, there's 12 forests, and Vrindavan is the biggest. So nearby, hardly 20 minutes away, is a wonderful forest called Bahulavan. And just a couple of years ago, I took some devotees there, Yaduvar Prabhu, who was among them, from this wonderful movie, Hare Krishna. I doubt that it came here. Huh? It came here, my goodness. How did they let it in the country? Anyway, afterwards he came to me, Dinabandhu, this is such a wonderful place. No beep beep, Those who've been to Vrindavan recently know what's happening, but it's amazing. Because when Prabhupada built Krishna Balaram temple, the brothers of Vrindavan said, why did you build your temple so far away? Who will go there? And now it's become the in thing. If you go to Vrindavan, you have to spend the night and you must come to the Mangal Arati, 4:30 in the morning, Krishna Balaram temple. Even some of our devotees have a hard time coming, but the whole temple is, you can't find place to stand. Sometimes you can't find place to stand. This is Prabhupada's, he put Vrindavan on the map. So anyway, he was so grateful. Yadavar, it's a nice place. And the place got its name because there used to be a cow there named Bahula. So it became known as Bahulavan. And she was a very, very pious cow. And we'll slow down for a minute and go back a few thousand years. One time, there was two Gandharvas named Huhu and Haha. Like it's in the Shastra like that. Their names were Huhu and Haha. And they were performing some singing and dancing and things for the demigods. And at that time, wasn't Palastarishi, now I can't. Since COVID and since getting old, my memory sometimes. Something with a, began with a P. I can't remember. But anyway, we'll say it was Palastarishi came along with Nard Muni. Pipalayana Rishi. Pipalayana Rishi came along with Nard Muni. And all the devas and devis, everyone stood up and offered respect, except for Hu and Haha. Hmm? So Pipalayana Rishi became very angry. Are everybody was showing us respect. You're not showing respect. Huh? What are you doing here in Devalok? You should go to the earth. And you're just like animals. You should become animals on the earth. And who said, wait a minute. You're Trikalagya. You can see past, present, and future. You sit in meditation and I go back in time and see if we did not pay our obeisances within our hearts. We were busy doing our performance. So rather than interrupt it, we performed Shastan Pranams within our hearts. So people like Rishi sat in meditation, he went back and saw that it was actually a fact. But he'd already pronounced his curse. So he said, I will also go to the earth. Hmm? And this Nard Muni, he didn't stop me from cursing you, so he will also go. And Mother Earth was the witness, she will also go. Hmm? So Mother Earth became a cow named Bahula. And later she appears in Dwarka as one of the Patrani of Krishna. I can't remember which one. Anyway, one day it was Ekadasi. And Bahula was very, very big and pregnant. But she decided to do Nirjal fast. We don't recommend this for the pregnant ladies or old people or sick people. But anyway, she was very pious, so she decided to do Nirjal. So whole day and whole night, she didn't take one drop of water. Early in the morning of Dwadasi, she gave birth to her calf. Now she went whole day and whole night without a drop of water. Now she just went through the trauma of childbirth. She was so thirsty. She was so thirsty. She didn't even feed that first milk to her calf. Because that first milk that comes after childbirth of the cows, in English we call it colostrum. It's a very special type of milk. And even commercial dairies, even though they're out to make as much money as they can, they know this can't be sold for human consumption. It's meant for the calf. It's filled with vitamins and minerals and probiotics. We use antibiotics, but nature has probiotics. Mm. But even without giving that first milk to her calf, she just went to look for water. And she came to the water hole. And if you watch the Discovery Channel, then you know that all the predators hang out by the water hole waiting for someone to come and drink some water. So there was a ferocious lion there waiting in the bushes. And Bahula came and began to drink the water, and suddenly this lion jumped out. And she bowed before the lion and said, please, I promise, such bolru, I will come back. Just let me go feed my first milk to my calf. I promise I'll come back. Mm-hmm. So lions we know are very ferocious, but also they're noted for being very noble. So he said, all right, you go feed your calf, but come back quickly. And meanwhile, I'll do my Facebook. So she went back and she was feeding milk to her calf. And she was crying. And the calf said, Mata, Mata, why are you crying? He says, Lala, this is the last time I will see you. And then she explained the situation. And he said, no, 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 how can my mother die before me? I can't bear this. Let me go. He said, no, no, Lala, I am an old cow. I've already had lives for so long. You have your whole life in front of you. I will go. No, no, no. I cannot see my mother die. You stay here. I will go. And they were arguing like this. Then the cowherd boy came and he heard the cow and calf arguing. Then when he understood what the argument is, my cow has given me milk my whole life. How can she die? No, no, I will go. No, no, no. How could my mother go? No, no, I'll go. No, no, no. You stay here. You have your whole life ahead of you. I will go. Everybody was arguing. So finally, all three went to the lion. So the lion is there. He looked up. Instead of one person, three people have come. And everybody's saying, no, you eat me, you save them. No, no, you eat me, you save them. Just see how in previous ages people were so noble. Nowadays, if there's a big problem and somehow or other we can get out of it, say, yeah, you go. So suddenly, Sri Krishna himself appeared on the scene with his flute. And he played on his flute, and everyone realized their previous life. Mother Earth was the cow Bahula, the cowherd boy was Nard Muni, the cowherd boy was Pipalayana Rishi, the calf was Nard Muni, and the lion was Haha. They all realized their previous birth. And if you go there, there's a big kund. When the first time I went there, it was just a big hole with all kinds of buffaloes inside and very dirty water. Now they've made a separate kund for the buffaloes, and the government has made nice steps all around, nice ghats all around, cleaned it up very nicely. But on the opposite side, when you come in, on the opposite side, God, there's some steps, and down below, there's a little shrine, and you can see the cow is there, and the calf, and the cowherd boy, and the lion, and Krishna playing on the flute, all done in beautiful marble plaques there. So this is Bhulavan. Very sweet place. So it's not very far from Radhakund. In fact, we're on Braj Prikam, when we go from Bhulavan and then out to Ral, and then we go to Radhakund. And Mahaprabhu, he was also doing Braj Prikam, just like we do every year in our Lokanath Swami Maharaj. He takes out a whole. I can remember when there was just 200, 150 or 200 of us, and now it's like 2,000, maybe even more. I don't know anymore. So the same way Mahaprabhu was doing Prikama, and from Bahulavan he started to Radhakund. And it doesn't exactly say in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but from the context that he started from Madhuvan, he went to Talavan, Bahulavan, then Radhakund. So it describes in Bahulavan that he was, all the cows came, they were licking his body, and the deer came, and the does came, and Mahaprabhu was seeing all the cowherd boys, and he was remembering his old pastimes. Very beautiful description is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And although he was on Prikama, he didn't, not like us, with AC car and bus, he was going by his 2 feet, with his arms raised in the air, chanting very loudly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And he was completely lost in ecstasy, no external consciousness. And he was headed towards Govardhan. Mhm. When he reached to Govardhan, there was a small village there. It's a very tip of not this is not tip, this is the head of Govardhan. And he had one devotee named Balabhadra Bhattacharya who was traveling with him. So he asked some villager, what is the name of this village? And that villager said, this is Arit ground. Hmm? As soon as the sound of Arit ground came into Mahaprabhu's ear, he began to ask everyone. He came back to his external consciousness and he began to ask the villagers, where is Radhakund and Shamakund? But nobody could tell. They had been lost to the eyes of the world. Hmm? Now, by hearing Aritagram, did Mahaprabhu think of Radhakund and Shamakund? Because the original name of this village was Aristagram, named after Aristasura, who was a huge demon who came in the form of a bull. Hmm? So we heard that Radhakund is a very sweet Madhurya Ras place. So why did he think of a great big demon like Aristasura when he heard the name of this place was Aristagram? Why do you think about Radhakund and Shamakund? Because what happened, Krishna was just getting ready. He came to Govardhan Hill, and our Jiva Goswami and Gopal Champu describes that it was the Chaitra Purnima. Somehow or other people are saying that the Bahulastami night is the day when Radhakund appeared, but from Jiva Goswami, we can understand it was actually Chaitra Purnima. If you go on the Bahulastami night, it is so crowded. We used to take sometimes 6, 7 buses and do kirtan all around Radhakund and Shamakund and then wait till midnight. But the actual appearance day is on Chaitra Purnima. So he was just getting ready to do rasa dance with all the devotees, the gopis. Prabhupada said he was dressed up very nicely, like a dancing actor, Natavara. Prabhupada says Natavara. So when he got the news that this Aristasura was coming and terrorizing the Brajbasis, you thought this terrorism was a new thing.
No.
This has been going on for at least 5,000 years. This was Arista bin Laden. So he tightened his belt. He flapped his arms like Indian wrestler. And he got ready to fight with Aristasura. And Aristasura, he was so huge, he was swatting the clouds with his tails. He was smashing the Brijbasis' houses with his horns. By his horrible roaring, the Brijbasinis were having miscarriages, very horrible. And he took one look at Krishna, began to dig the ground, pointed his horns at him, and began to charge. And Krishna just put his hand on the shoulder of his friend. Next devotion describes Krishna wasn't at all concerned. He just put his hand on the shoulder of one of the Kapur boys. And as soon as Aristasura came, Krishna took him by the horns and he swung him around and around and around and smashed him on the ground and then stomped on him like a wet sponge, and passing stool and urine simultaneously, he went to the kingdom of death. So then Krishna dressed himself up he told Radharani and the gopis, now we can do ras. And Radharani said, how we can be associated with such a person as you? You've done a big pop. You've done a big sin. What sin did you killed the bull? This is a big pop. We can't be associated with you. And Krishna said, that wasn't a bull, that was a demon. And Radharani and the gopis said, may have been a demon, but he was in the form of a bull. May have been in the form of a bull, but he was a demon. And Radharani said, well, we heard from Mother Purnamasi that one time Indra, he killed one demon, but he was a Brahmin. Remember that Vritrasura? He was a Brahmin. He got reaction. So Krishna said, all right, so what do I have to do to get free from this reaction? So Radharani and all the gopis consulted one another, said, you will have to take bath in all the sacred places of the universe. And Krishna said, all right, that will take a long time. How I can be away from all you girls for so long? I will call all the sacred places here and take my bath. And gopis said, oh Krishna, don't try to fool us with your magic. We don't believe in your magic. So Krishna played on his flute. First of all, he went and he stomped with his right foot a big depression in the ground. Boom, boom, boom. He played on his flute and all the holy places of the universe came there with folded hands and bending forward. And he said, Maharaj? He said, yes. You all give your introduction, you chant your mantra, and you pour your water in my kund. So everyone came forward. Someone said, I'm the milk ocean, and she poured her water. Somebody said, I'm the saltwater ocean, I'm the sugar water ocean, I'm Ganga, Jamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, Sindhu, Kaveri. All the holy places of the universe came. And Krishna, just with his eyes, he was indicating to the gopis. Because when we have love, then we don't need words even. When we're angry, then we shout. The person's right in front of us, but we're shouting. Why? Because our hearts have gone very far away, so we shout at each other. But when there's love, then we just talk sweet words, very soft. Or sometimes that just by the eyes. So Krishna was going. I told you, they're coming. So this went on almost to the midnight. Then Krishna took his bath in the Shamakund. And then he invited Radharani and the gopis, you come in the water, we'll have Jalakeli, water pastimes. And Radharani and the gopis said, this kund is contaminated with your sin. How we can come in this kund? We're going to make our own kund. And there was a place opposite of Shamakund where Visasura had dug his hoof into the ground. So Radharani broke her kankan, her golden bangle, and she began to dig. And all the Sakhis, they broke their golden bangles, kankan. Therefore, that original kund is called, sometimes people say kangan, sometimes people say kankan kund. Either way you search on YouTube, you can see the cleaning of Radha Kund and you get darshan of that kankan kund. So they dug a very nice kund there within a very short time. And Krishna said, your kund is very nice, but there's no water in it. And Radharani Gopi said, we're going to bring water from Manasi Ganga. In the middle of Govardhan, there's Govardhan town, middle of the hill, there's a Govardhan town. In the middle of Govardhan town is a place called Manasi Ganga. So in gold and silver water pots, we're going to have millions of gopis coming and going, and the gold and silver water pots will fill this kund with water. Now Krishna, he doesn't like to see the gopis or Radharani doing any type of labor. He can't bear to see a bead of perspiration come on Radharani's brow. So he made gesture to all those sacred places personified, and they all became one person. And they came before Srimati Radharani, and they began to pray and glorify her. And they said, that person said, we thought that the perfection of life was to be associated with the lotus feet of Krishna. Because when Krishna bathed in all the holy places, water from all the holy places, he became purified, right? Yet, no, all the holy places became purified because Krishna bathed in them. He said, but now seeing your divine, wonderful qualities, we understand the real perfection of life is to be associated with the lotus feet. So Radharani was a little cautious because this fellow was coming from Krishna's side. He said, what do you want? He said, we want to come in your kund. And then Radharani, she smiled at Sri Krishna and she shook her head, and they broke a hole from Shamakund, side of Shamakund, into Radhakund. And that would happen exactly at the midnight of Chaitra Purnima. And Krishna told Radharani that your kund is very beautiful, and I will always come and bathe in your kund. And Radharani said, and your kund is very beautiful, and we will always come and bathe in your kund. So this way, Radhakund and Shamakund, although they're eternal, they have this wonderful pastime of appearance. Therefore, when Mahaprabhu heard that this is a Rittagram, which is originally Ristagram, he began to ask everyone, where's Radhakund and Shamakund? Nobody could tell him. They were lost to the eyes of the world. We're eternally indebted to Mahaprabhu for showing us Radhakund, for showing us all of Braj. He himself personally revealed Radhakund and Shamakund, and he sent the Goswamis to find all the lost places. So therefore he was asking everyone, where's Radhakund and Shamakund? Nobody knew. And there's a very beautiful place where Mahaprabhu sat. And now there's one wonderful Filipino Baba, Paramananda Baba, who was originally with ISKCON. Now he's staying on his own. But he is fixing up that place so sweetly. Nice dioramas and of all the pastimes of Mahaprabhu discovering Radhakund and many other pastimes. And so many things. They made a very beautiful place, and beautiful deity of Mahaprabhu is installed there. Lotus feet of Mahaprabhu there. Very wonderful place. So Mahaprabhu sat in that place underneath the tamal tree. Unfortunately, the tamal tree is no longer there. And he saw there was two paddy fields here. One was called Kali, and one was called Gauri. So you know Kali means black, so that was Shamakund. Gauri means golden, so that was Radhakund. So he went down, whatever water was there, all the villagers were amazed. Who is this sannyasi? What is he doing? He just bathed with whatever water was there in the middle of the paddy fields. And he began to chant so many beautiful mantras. You can find them in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now Prabhupada has translated in so many different languages. You can find it in your own language. You can find and learn all these beautiful things. Sabha gopi haite radha krishna na prayase, haite radha kunda priya priya sarase. Sabha gopi haite radha krishna ra prayase. Of all the gopis, Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. In the same way, this kund, haite radha kunda priya rasa. Same way, this kund is just as dear to Krishna as Radha. Beautiful verse from Padma Purana saying, Yatarara Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Data Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. Yatarara Priya Vishnu, just as Radha is very dear to Vishnu or Krishna, Yatarara Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Data. This kund is just as dear to Krishna. Sarva Gopishu Saivaika, we all know Sarva means all. Of all the gopis, Vishnu Atyanta Vallabha. When we want to say the extremist, then we say atyant. Other ways say bahut, but extremist is atyant, atyanta bhava. This is the most beloved. Radharani is most beloved of Krishna. Kundara Mahima Yara Radhara Mahima Kundara Madhuriyena Radhara Madhurima. The glories of this kund is just as glorious as Srimati Radharani. And the sweetness of this kund is just as sweet as the madhurima, the sweetness of Srimati Radharani. So singing one other prayer is with it. No, that one we already said. This one is so nice. Actually, Chaitanya Charitamrita is unparalleled in Bengali literature. Even if you just, from a mundane view, you study Bengali literature, they have to preach you Chaitanya Charitamrita because it is so sweet. It's amazing because with very sweet language, he is presented very sweet language, but in very simple language, even villagers can follow. And at the same time, all the deep truths of Mahaprabhu's philosophy is there. Now, if you try to talk philosophy, then you end up using big words and everybody goes. And if you make it sweet, then you can't talk philosophy. But Krishna's Kaviraj, he has put it very sweetly. All the deep truths of Mahaprabhu's philosophy, very simple and sweet language. Even Hindi wala will be able to understand. Even we can understand just from studying Prabhupada and hearing a few words. E kunde nitya Krishna radhika rasange jale jala keli kore tire rasarange. E kunde, this kund, someone say ek bare kore snana. Somebody one time takes their snan. Tanna Radha Sama Prema Krishna Kore Dana. Krishna gives in charity. It's like when you go to Radha Kund, all the pandas will come to take charity from you, but Krishna is giving charity. What charity? Radha Sama Prema. That prema that is equal to Srimati Radharani. Krishna is giving in charity. Ekunenita Krishna Radhika Rasangi Jala Jala Keli Kori. In the water, he's doing water pasan, Jala Keli. We say pani, but in Bengali we use jal. And actually, for our foreign devotees, the first word that they learn in Hindi is pani. Oh, Prabhu, where's pani? This is the difference between us and the six Goswamis. We read about the six Goswamis. Hey Radhe, Vrajadevi, Ke Chalalite, Hey Nanda Suno Kuta. Kuta means where? Where is Radha? Where is Krishna? Is he on Govardhan Hill? Is he at the base of the Kadamba tree? Where? And we come to Vrindavan. Prabhu, where's Pani? Prabhu, where's the bathroom? The difference between us and the Goswami. The Jala Keli Kori Tire Rasarangi, and on the banks, he's doing, they're doing ras. So singing all these beautiful prayers, Mahaprabhu took his bath and revealed Radhakund and Shanakund to the eyes of the world. We have some time? We'll tell about, as we mentioned, Manasi Ganga.
You didn't mention what happened to
Oh, everyone, what happened to Huhu? Do you know? What happened to Huhu? Ah, somebody said he became the crocodile in Gajendra Moksha Lila. So anyway, one time we know Krishna killed one demon named Vatsasur in the form of a calf. And then all the cowherd boys, they didn't want to play with Krishna anymore. They said, "You've done a big pop." So Krishna said, "What can I do?" He said, "You'll have to go take," all the cowherd boys consulted one another, so "You'll have to go take bath in Ganga." And Krishna said, "But Ganga is very far away. That will take a long time. I will bring Ganga here by my meditation and take my bath." So Krishna sat down in meditation, and by his mind, Manasa, Ganga appeared there. Ganga appeared there by his mind. Therefore, it became known as Manasi Ganga. And generally, most of the water in Braj is a little salty, but if you take a couple of drops of Manasi Ganga water, see, it's very sweet. And this Ganga, because it is created by Krishna's mind, it is 1,000 times more purifying than that other Ganga. So he took his bath in the Ganga, and then all the cowherd boys again would play with him. So it became known as Manasi Ganga. One time, the gopis came. They had big pots of buttermilk and yogurt, and they wanted to cross. That time, Manasi Ganga was actually a flowing river, and they wanted to cross the river. So Radharani told Lalita, "Please find some boatman to take us across." So they looked around. There was one boatman. He had his chadar over his head, and he was sleeping very peacefully. And they said, "Boatman, boatman, please take us across the Ganga." And he woke up. He looked out from under his chadar. He said, "Look, my boat is very old. You girls are too many, and your cargo is very heavy. You find somebody else. I'm sleeping." But boatman, boatman, we looked up and down the banks. There's no one else around except you. He said, "Well, let me ask my boat if he'll go." He said, "My boat says he'll go if I wash the feet of one of you and sprinkle that water on you." And he said, "Which one?" He says, "The one who's the daughter of Brisbana." Brisbana Nandini. And Radharani said, "No way." And he said, "All right, then I'm going back to sleep." All right. So then he washed Radharani's feet. He sprinkled the water in his head on his boat on the Ganga. And they all got in the boat. And he began to row. And he began to row in a funny way, so the boat was rocking back and forth. And suddenly a great wind came up, and waves started coming. And he pulled out the cork in the bottom of the boat. And water started coming in. And what boat is rocking, and water is coming in. And Radharani sent Lalita, "Go tell this boatman to please kindly save us." Right? So Lalita went there, said, "Boatman, boatman, please save us." He said, "What can I do? I told you from the beginning, my boat is very old and you girls are too many and your cargo is too heavy. Unless you throw all this buttermilk and yogurt overboard, we're all going to drown." So they threw all their pots of buttermilk, yogurt, and ghee, everything, into the Ganga. And still boat is rocking, water is coming, wind is blowing, waves are coming. Again, Radharani sent Lalita Sakhi. He said, boatman, please save us." He said, "What can I do? You girls are too many. And you're wearing such heavy jewelry. If you don't throw all this gold and silver and pearl and diamond and ruby and sapphire overboard, we're all going to drown." So they threw all of their earrings and bangles and necklaces and everything into the water of the Ganga. And still boat is rocking, water's coming, waves are coming, wind is blowing. Then Radharani said, Lalita again. And she said, Boatman, Boatman, please save us. He said, what can I do? I told you from the beginning. You girls are too many. And your saris are so heavy. If you don't throw all these saris overboard, we're all going to drown. And Lisa says, we got a better idea. We're going to throw you overboard. Then Radharani came and she threw herself around our boatman. She's hanging on his necklace, on his neck like a golden locket. So by now you must have figured out who our boatman is. Now he's got his desire. Radharani's hanging around his neck like a golden locket. And Radharani felt something hard on that boatman's chest. And she reached inside the shutter and pulled out Krishna's flute. And then they pulled that shutter back and they realized it's actually Krishna. Then suddenly the wind stopped, the waves went away, the water came out of the boat. And then they enjoyed so many wonderful pastimes. You've seen all these wonderful pastimes of Krishna and Manasi Ganga. I was going to Jai Jai Radha Jai Jai. Huh?
Loud.
We do loud kirtan? I don't know. All right, we'll do Sundara Lala. You look on your devices. Sundara Lala, also sometimes they put it Sundara Bala, but in my Hindi book it's Sundara Lala. Since Mahaprabhu revealed and Braj to all of us, we're indebted to him. So this is, most of the songs about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're all in Bengali, but this one's in Brij Bhasa. Sundara Lala Sachidu Lala Nashata Sri Hari Kirtana Mein. Sundara Lala Sachidu Lala Nashata Sri Hari Kirtana Mein. Balchandana Tirayana Alda Kodu Kakodana Balchandana Tirayana Alda Darshaniyale, Vankulamala, Iyapagolo, Parvati Patana Rajoje, Yukura Vinodine, Karanamane, Parvati Patana Sri Sri Vrindavan Dham ki Om Dham Tika Prabhupada ki Jai Go Premanande. See, Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Nani, Nandri. So if anybody has any question, we can try and give some answer. Yes.
You were there in
84.
84. I just wanted to know which one is your favorite place?
My very favorite place is Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir. Because this is a temple established personally by Prabhupada. I was there in 75. And in that temple, I meet devotees from every part of the world spreading Prabhupada's movement. So this is my favorite place. After that, I think Giriraj is my favorite place. There's a special happiness in Govardhan that just don't find elsewhere. Hare Krishna.
How have you seen the changes in life
I've seen a lot of changes, but just like I said, when Prabhupada built that temple, and we were there, and the Brajvasi said, why did you build your temple way out there? Who will go there? And now we're the center of the new Vrindavan. So one says, due to the land mafia and everything is looking more like Kuwait than Vrindavan. But still, Vrindavan you have to see with your heart. I remember one lady devotee, she told me she was complaining to one of the shopkeepers, so much traffic, this and that. I said, Mataji, don't see Vrindavan with your eyes. And you got a far up look in his eyes. You have to see with your heart. So now if you really want to experience Vrindavan, you have to go very deep inside and experience it. There's that bliss that's there in Vrindavan, you just don't find elsewhere. It's amazing how people we go to Vrindavan, we see some temples with so many different deities on the altar. And we think it's all wonderful, but actually what happened was they sold off that deity's property, put him on that altar. They sold off that deity's property and put him on the altar. Everybody was trying to squeeze something out of it. Nobody was investing in it. And Prabhupada came there. He invested money in Vrindavan. He built this beautiful Krishna Balaram temple. And now, although there's so many, even there's completely, there's a cement temple, but even completely marble temple, still to me, Krishna Balaram temple is the most beautiful temple in Vrindavan. When Prabhupada invested money, everybody began to invest money in Vrindavan. Still, there's many nice places to go. Like Terkadam, there's a nice place, Kadam Kandi, very sweet place.
Yeah, I share my personal experience that past 1 hour the experience behind I personally didn't have even when I visited Vrindavan. So you take Vrindavan with you. Truly, many of us have desire to visit Vrindavan and many have desire to stay in Vrindavan. So, truly, we also hear that we get benefit staying in Dham, but our offenses also get multiplied into that. And we had from Sri Bhakti Thakur that he said, and he himself used to visit Vrindavan maybe 1 or 2 days like that. So, Guruji, we request your guidance.
No, if you want to stay in Vrindavan, you have to have some service. If you get some type of service, then you'll stay. I see so many people coming and just want to stay, but you know, even if nothing else, just like you see in the afternoon, all the ladies sit and they're making most beautiful. The opulence of Vrindavan is the flowers. You see the garlands every day. It's just amazing, and the flower decorations on the festivals. So you're just making garlands or somehow or other engaged in helping to distribute Prabhupada's books. Just like now we have the table under the Tamal tree, especially now. Somehow or other you find some engagement. Then you can stay. Actually, Mahaprabhu, he sent Jagadananda there. Jagadananda was always trying to go, and Mahaprabhu was stopping him. Especially one time he brought some sandalwood oil, and Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, people smell the sandalwood oil," and sannyasi, they'll make fun. And Jagadananda threw the pot on the ground and smashed it. So what's that? I didn't bring any sandalwood oil. Then again he asked, and I said, "No, now you go to Vrindavan and criticize me." To everyone. Finally he got permission to go, and Mahaprabhu told him, "You go to Vrindavan, you should stay with the devotee, you stay with Sanatana Goswami, you see all the forests." And then he said, "Then you return." He said, because if you stay in Vrindavan, in English we say familiarity breeds contempt. You forget what is Vrindavan. That tendency is there. But if you go there and you come back, then you always remember in your heart, "Oh, we went to Vrindavan. We saw so many places with Dinabandhu. It was so wonderful. When can I go again?" And you'll always think of Vrindavan. And whoever always remembers Vrindavan, he actually lives at Vrindavan. And sometimes people tell me, "Don't you get tired? You're taking everybody to the same places, telling the same old stories." He said, "For me, when I'm bringing new people, I start to see through their eyes, just like that Guru Das was the first devotee who showed us around Vrindavan. And I remember what it was like. So I'm seeing all those places again through their eyes. It's always fresh." Yes.
Looks like a Vrindavan. Not from like here the impure person.
Huh?
Impure person. If I want to stay in Vrindavan, what kind of more I have?
Seva. Real mood of Vrindavan is seva. One time, we were as soon as they took me off the hot seat and I was no longer president, immediately I ran and joined the Lokanath Swami's Braj Mandal Prikrama. And one day, it was a Ekadasi like today, and it was a very long walk up to, where did we stay? Lohan. It was a very long walk. And somehow the Braj Mandal authorities decided that somehow or other they were going to fast. It wasn't going to be breakfast. Usually somewhere along the way we take breakfast, but they decided to fast. And then it was a very long walk, long ways to go. And I would say, "Oh, these poor devotees, it's a long walk. It's not a good idea." So then they realized that they made a mistake. So then they decided to make big opulent prasadam. And all these fried peanuts and fried this and, fry those kutuwata puris and they, so many things. They're big opulent feasts. And everybody got so sick. And, but along the way, I had stopped and I asked some villagers for some chach. Around Braj Frikama, we always get nice chach buttermilk. In Braj, you get real buttermilk. They take the yogurt. They don't take the cream. They take the full milk and make it into yogurt and churn that what's left over as chach. And toast some jeera and they put it like this and a little black salt and all this. So I saw we were passing by one village, so I said, "Do you have any chach?" They didn't have any chach, but since, devotee had asked for some, they felt embarrassed. They didn't have any, so they brought fresh yogurt. I didn't take that fresh yogurt. I just put chach doesn't cost anything. Everybody gives it away for free. So anyway, they insisted, so we took some nice yogurt. And Lokanath Swami was speaking in a grove of trees, and I put my head on my bag and was sitting there, and I fell asleep. It just felt nice warm sunshine. The sunshine in Kartik is very pleasant. I thought, I know where they're going to stay, so I'll catch up with them later. Anyway, somehow they changed their place of staying, and I never found them. But I knew in the morning they'll come to Gopinath Mandir in Lowerland. It's an old ancient temple of Gopinath. So I went there, and then I'll tell the whole story. So I had a friend there named Sitaram, who was actually a resident of Lohavan, but he had taken a Kutichak sannyas. We're on the edge of the village, he made a little kutir. And so I went to stay with Sitaram. And we went into the village to buy some milk or something. But the next day is Devutana. All the Brishvasis make sweet rice. So nobody brought any milk. So there was just some week-old burfi there. And he bought, 150 grams of burfi, and we went back and he made the offering, 75 grams for me. So and I said, I haven't eaten anything all day, and it's slow yogurt. What's Krishna doing? And then I said, anyway, whatever Krishna does is perfect. I just calmed my mind and said, no, whatever Krishna does is perfect. And there was just enough room for the both of us to sleep in his little kutir. So the next morning we went to Gopinath Mandir to wait for the devotees to come. When they came, everybody was looking sort of pale. And I saw many people are missing. And he said, oh, Dinabandhu, you were the lucky one. You missed it. And they told about the feast that they had, and everybody got sick, and they were running across the road to the place. Because on Prikama, you just go in the fields, and people were passing from one end or the other end, or both simultaneously. Some people passed out on the road. Some people went to the hospital. That's why I saw people missing, and everybody was pale. So then I thought, oh no, and then I knew that day is also a very long walk before we get to a place called Bandi Anandi for breakfast. So there was a villager, as we were going along, some villager was there, and I asked him for some roti. He ran into the town, because the village was off the path, so he went into town, he brought back some rotis, and little devotee was there, Om Tat Sat, and he pushed the rotis in his bag, and he said, no. You take them now. I said, no, this is not for me. This is for my friends. You don't worry about your friends. He took me to a temple there. He said, he told the Brajari, you give them the rotis, you give them some dal and sabji, And so we were getting these nice Brijbasi rotis, They don't use this thing, Nice and thick. And whenever we go to Gujarati's house, we get it's just like a piece of paper, Brisbane nice and thick with homemade ghee. So we're getting this nice hot Brisbane rotis and hot sabji and hot dal. And I was feeling very embarrassed, but that fellow just disappeared. He said, "You don't worry about your friends. You sit down and eat." And he said, "You feed them." I kept trying to hide the rotis, and he kept pulling them out and feeding us. So then we went along, and we came to some village. It was called Tarapur. I still remember Tarapur. And no electricity, no paved road, just a little dirt road. And there I saw there was 150 foreign devotees, all in the middle of the village. Everybody was, from every corner, the ladies were running with rotis. They had chach. As soon as you put your lota down, somebody else would pour it full of chach again. And somebody was bringing sag, and somebody was bringing dal, and 150 foreign devotees were doing Madhukari in the middle of this village. That fellow, he said, "You don't worry about your friends, you sit down and eat." He went to the next village and said, "All these foreign devotees are coming." Because I was begging for them, because they don't know how to do Madhukari, So I was trying to beg for them, but he ran ahead. And, then every 2 minutes, some other lady would come with a big stack of hot rotis. And I saw that they don't have anything. Don't even have a road. They don't have electricity, a little mud house, grass shack, But they were feeling great ecstasy. Whatever they had, the roti and chach and sag and dal, they felt very happy serving the devotees. I saw this is a real mood of Braja Seva. And once you get out of all the commercial places, then you find real mood of Braja Seva. You have nothing but they're ready to share with you. If you be in a mood of service. Okay, we'll stop here and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So much for showing us the glimpses of the sweetness of the Vrindavan Dham. I was just looking at the flow that started. First, the friendship of us, then we heard the voice of the cow. Vrindavan, Krishna likes the Brahma and cow, Sadhu in the cow. Now we will start in section, but Sadhu purification and the Bahula cow purification. Then we enter in the secret of the Krishna's pastime.
Yes.
We could also see that how you're immersed. But in this scripture that like a honeybee, when she tried to collect the honey, and her mouth is completely filled with the honey. And again she wants to drink the honey. They spill over. That kind of preaching. That's what we see from the so much in down. So being fine to honor. It's very, very fortunate for us. And this lecture is going to continue tomorrow and thereafter. Tomorrow we have a big festival. 10 o'clock, 10 to 9:30. Class will start about 10 minutes. Till 1 o'clock, all of you will come there. And then day after we have a morning program. Mataji place in Sadi. But that people will be traveling after. So that we have a 10 to 9. Thank you so much for coming. All together.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
This is the book.
Jai.
Very thankful to Ashish Prabhu for allowing all of us to come here.